Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are discussing about the SPLTC module, one of the topic called as the respiratory system. So I'm giving you here as a macro teach a brief overview about the respiratory system, the basic anatomy and physiology. However, I advise you after this go through the further readings from the module in this week. So let's discuss about the respiratory system. So respiratory system is actually consists of some different parts of our body that combine and work together and help us to breathing. The respiratory system is actually the multiple parts, organs of our body work together to support the breathing system of our body. It's mean breathing in and out of the air. So what this consists of? Number one is nose. Second is pharynx. Second is larynx, then trachea, bronchi, and lungs. The primary function of the system is to furnish oxygen for individual tissue cells and take away the waste products and carbon dioxide produced by the same cells. So this is the picture along with the labeling of the respiratory system. Nose, trachea, here is the pharynx, larynx, this is the pharynx, larynx, trachea, then branches of bronchi and lungs. We will discuss again. I will show these labelings furthermore. It's here. So now could you please tell me what are the different parts of the respiratory system? Number one, what's this? Yes, it is nose. Then second, passage of the airway in our body when we breathe in is second is the pharynx. It's like a muscular tube. Then the cartilaginous tube called as the larynx. It also helps in the phonation for our voice projection. Next is the trachea, followed by its breaking into the branches like a tree. These called as the bronchi and single called as the bronchioles. And bronchioles means many small branches, bronchioles. And bronchus in singular, and both these main branches called as bronchi. Next, these balloon shape, these are called as lungs. This is the left lung and right lung. And next is the diaphragm. This is the muscles that helps also take parts in our breathing by contraction and relaxation. Now let's discuss some physiology, external and internal respiration. So what's mean by this? External respiration is easy terms is inhaling air. So that's actually the inhalation. So why we are saying it's as external respiration? Because we are inhaling the external air inside our body, inside our lungs. And in this way, we are taking oxygen in. And in this process, actually, the exchange of air takes place in our lungs and the blood. Next, then after followed by it, the next step happen process is called as the internal respiration. It is actually a metabolic process in which what happens that in the blood it absorbs the oxygen from our inhaled air and releases the carbon dioxide that produced during metabolism from the cells. In this way, it's exchanging the air and releasing the waste and not required gaseous material outside. And this is called as internal respiration. So when we inhale air, external respiration, so our lungs expand because they are filling with air like a balloon. And when we do exhale air out, that's called as internal respiration. They contract as they're expelling out the air along with removing the non-required or wastage gaseous material within it. So let's discuss the part nose. Nose, we all know it's the external part. We can easily see it's obvious. And they are also called as nostrils or interior nares. There are two cavities called as the nasal cavities, and they are separated by a bony septum wall of a bone called as the nasal septum. And when we look inside the nasal septum, in these nasal cavities, there are three passageways, bony passageways. And we say them in our terms, in professional terms, as a concha. Each passage called as the concha and plural is called as concave. So the first above, the superior part, the above part is called as the superior concha, middle called as the middle concha, and the lower called as the inferior concha. So here's the picture to make you more understanding. See, superior, middle, inferior means lower. See, this is the 3D vision so that you will understand more. I will stop here and then show you. Okay, let it come here. See, so how they are showing the passages. So these are the concha. So let's now discuss about the pharynx. It's actually a muscular tubes that provide the air passage to enter inside and passageway to go into the lungs. Pharynx is actually connecting with different parts. A passageway is linked with the mouth, and when it's linking the mouth, we call it as a oropharynx. When it's linking with the nose, nasopharynx. It's also connect with us, our ear, sinuses, and eyes as well, and linking them together. Inside the nose, there are hairy projections, these called as the cilia, and the role function of the cilia are to produce the mucus. And what's the function of the mucus is to trap air, to trap the foreign particles when we are breathing in so that our internal parts stay protected. For example, with the pollen, bacteria, and dust particles. What the other functions of the nose are, it provides the air passageway for breathing, it warms and moistens the inhaled air. It also has some olfactory receptors. These are the specialized cells that give us the sensation of smelling odors and also helps in the phonation for pronouncing some specific voice and terms and alphabets, and also creates the quality of our voice. So pharynx, I already discussed, told you it has three parts, nasopharynx connecting with the nose, from where it's connecting with the mouth called as the oropharynx, and when it's combined to one and going towards the larynx called as the laryngopharynx. This is the picture of the pharynx to make you more clear. Now let's discuss larynx. Larynx is made up of the cartilaginous bones. It also contains the vocal cords that helps to produce the sound, and it also called as the voice box. So it's actually a cartilaginous bone, made up of the cartilaginous bone. Next is the trachea. Followed after the larynx is the bony, what I say, tube. It's like a tree, but it's made up of the bone. And it is also called as the windpipe, and it's a muscular tube that leading from the larynx to the main bronchi. Bronchi are these, right and left. And these are actually the cartilaginous links that prevent the crushing of the trachea. The trachea is also the passageway of the air. It is also lined with the cilia hairs, which sweep the foreign material out of the pathway. The next is coming the bronchi. Bronchi now entering into the lungs, the branches, and these are all the passageway of the air to the lungs, and they divide into two, the right and the left bronchi. And then they further divide into further more branches, fine branches called as then bronchioles, and then a small balloon-shaped alveoli. And in alveoli, there are blood capillaries. Alveoli are rich with the blood capillaries where the exchange of the gaseous material occur. So I hope this information is enough for today, but I advise you to go more in depth in the reading for this week. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed.